Hello, and thank you for joining us for another installment of Advancing the Common Good through United Way. I'm Amanda Burkhart, and I'm really excited to be here today with some wonderful ladies to talk about taxes. I know that doesn't sound very much fun, but I am here with Karen and Karin. We'll start with Karin. Karin, tell us about who you're here with and a little bit about what we're talking about today.
Yeah, my name is Karin McLean, and I'm the VITA Program Manager with Montana Credit Unions for Community Development. We work with the credit unions statewide and run tax sites at credit unions across the state.
Okay, great. And Karen, tell me about yourself.
Sure, I'm the Director of Asset Development for Rural Dynamics, which runs a coalition called Tax Help Montana, which prepares free taxes for individuals and families earning less than $51,000 across the state of Montana.
Okay, and you ladies are both statewide, but we're here today to talk really about the Helena area, Helena and East Helena mostly. And what we're really talking about is this guy here. We're talking about free tax help. United Way coordinates some of the groups in Helena that do free tax help, including both of your sites and AARP. And you know, it is January 2nd, so we're talking about taxes coming up. Karin, can you tell me, it's January 1 or January 2, so people are starting to think about taxes, but when should people really be concentrating on getting their taxes done and start thinking about that?
I think now's the time to start thinking about it. Now is the time to gather up your W-2s, any other statements you might get in the mail, and figure out where you're going to file your taxes.
Speaking of where you're going to get them done, there are so many places that if you make, what is the limit? If you make $52,000 or more on a tax return, so you as an individual or you as your household, your tax return, if it's $52,000 or less, you can go to one of these places and you can get free tax help. Is that correct?
Yes, so if you make under $52,000 a year, there are sites across actually the United States, but especially here in Helena, across the city, probably close to you, that you can go get your taxes done free of charge. And they are done by certified volunteers. These people go through training, they understand the tax return, and they can help you get the most for your money. And on timing wise, I would just also note that this year the IRS has pushed back the filing deadline where we can start electronically filing returns. So a lot of people advertise, a lot of organizations advertise that we can get your taxes done as soon as you get your W-2s. But you should know this year that we are not going to be able to e-file tax returns until January 31st. So no matter where you go, you still won't be able to e-file them until January 31st. So don't go to a paid preparer when you can get it done free by certified tax volunteers just because you think you're going to get it done earlier, because no one can file until January 31st.
Okay, so people have about a month to start getting those W-2s and other pieces of information together. And then, Karin, tell me about if you walk into one of these tax help clinics to get this free tax assistance, what's it like? What happens when you walk in the door?
Well, first I'd step back a little bit and say that a fantastic tool that I want everyone to know about is our website that we have with our partners, montanafreefile.org, and Montana's spelled out. And there you can get, it has a directory of all the tax sites in Montana. So both AARP and VITA and all of the different options available. So after you visit montanafreefile.org and decide where you want to have your taxes prepared, or if you want to prepare them yourself, going into the tax site, in some cases you'll have an appointment. Well, you'll meet with a preparer, and in other sites you'll have it's walk-in, so it's first come, first serve. But at all the sites, you will meet with an intake person, fill out some paperwork, and then you'll meet with a certified preparer, as Karen discussed. And the process takes about an hour, and every return is quality reviewed by a second set of eyes. And that's really a foundation to our program. Mm-hmm. We really are very interested in having a high quality and as few mistakes as possible. So that's why, as part of the program, we have a quality review process. So I would say, depending on what site you go to, you'll either have an appointment or it'll be a walk-in site, but you'll be greeted by fantastic, committed volunteers that are there to help you. Your return will be prepared on the computer using professional software, and then it'll be electronically filed.
Okay, wonderful. Karen, sorry. tell us a little bit about why is this so important to folks? Who is this really aiming at, and what kind of return are people possibly going to be
Sure.
looking at?
There's a couple reasons why this is a really important service. People who are struggling, which in Montana there's a lot of people that are struggling paycheck to paycheck. So if I go in to get my tax return done in an organization, and they do that tax return and they say, okay, that's $200 or $100 or whatever that fee is, sometimes you just don't have that dollar amount. And so then you might get talked into additional products that cost more money. And all of that money is being taken out of your tax return. And in Montana, the tax return, the refund, that's the largest check a lot of families get the whole year. Can be a large amount of money, $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 with the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit, depending on how many children you have. So all of that money, it's important that it goes back into these people's pockets and that they're able to use that. This is a program, the earned income tax credit has lifted more people out of poverty every year than any other social service program. So this is a large check that people are getting, and we just want to make sure that they're getting it in their pockets. It's not going to someone else, but it's coming back to that family who desperately needs it to catch up on things and pay for school lunches and buy clothes for their kids.
Mm-hmm. And we at United Way, we hear anecdotally every year that, February and March are the only months where they really see a dip in their needs for services, and the
Right.
only thing they can really attribute that to is those tax returns. And so Karin, one of the questions that people might have is, well, I worked a little bit, but I didn't earn enough to have to file a tax return. What would you say to those folks about these free tax sites?
I would say come and see us. Come and visit montanafreefile.org and come into the tax site. There's a big difference between being mandated to file, having to file, and having it be to your advantage to file. We have many folks that don't have a filing requirement, but they are able to claim both federal and state credits that put real money into their pocket. So I would say, let us take a look at your information, let us look at your documents, and help you navigate whether you should or should not file. And tax time, I know it has a lot of bad connotations, but for many folks, after they take part in our services, really view tax time in a positive way.
Right. It's a time to celebrate, not a time to get stressed out.
Yeah, so come and see us, and we'll help you go through whether you need to file or not, and what credits you might be able to access.
Okay.
I had a young lady last year that was actually told by a paid preparer that she didn't need to file, which was absolutely true. She did not have a filing requirement, had earned less than $1,000 during the year, but with her children and the tax credit, she received over $300 in a return. And so that $300 was absolutely necessary to that family. It was critical to that family, but she was told she didn't need to file. So, and if you're over 62 in Montana, there's the homeowner renter credit. Mm-hmm. If you're paying rent or you own your own home, come to a VITA site to see if you qualify. It's up to $1,000 in your pocket that a lot of people are not claiming. It's estimated 25% of people who qualify for the earned income tax credit are not receiving it. So that's a lot of money in the state of Montana, okay. Millions.
Well, and that's something really to think about, is a lot of the folks that this is applicable to don't even know. And so if you're not sure, if you have any questions, they need to just go to montanafreefile.org or come on down to these sites. So I'm just go over these really briefly. In the Helena area, we have the Tax Help Montana sites, and that's at the Good Samaritan Thrift Store and Helena College, and those start in the first week of February. And then we have the AARP tax aid sites, and those are by appointment only. Those are at the Helena Senior Center and also at the Lewis and Clark Library. And then we have the Montana Credit Union sites. Those are Helena Community Credit Union and Trico Community Federal Credit Union. And those are also appointment only?
Correct. Yep.
And so all of this wonderful information is on our website at unitedwaylca.org, and it's also on montanafreefile.org. All of this great information. There's times and dates and phone numbers and all the information you need is right there online. You can also call United Way 442-4360, and we can get this information to you. And I've got to take a minute too. We have some representatives here from some of our groups, but there's also other groups that are working really hard to put this information together and get it out to folks. And that also includes the Department of Revenue and the IRS and Blue Cross Blue Shield for doing our printing. So we have a lot of people to thank, and a lot of people are helping to make sure that the folks in the Helena area get the help that they need. So thank you guys so much for being here and helping us get the word out. And we'll be talking a lot more about this in the coming months.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.